When you're over 30 and still single, you can say goodbye to high value men, high quality men forever. Okay? Because when you are over 30 and you are still single, all that is communicating to men is that you rode the carousel, didn't settle down, didn't cash in your chips, put your career ahead of your relationships, and now you are damaged goods. The DG, right? The DG. And I hate to say it, but I'm trying to be real with you, right? I give it to you guys straight. When a female is over 30 and she is still single, she can say goodbye to ever getting another high value ever again. Okay, and I can attest to this because I've been around a while, been doing pickup and game a long time, and I remember when I first started out and in the 90s, and these girls who were young, in their early 20s back then, hot, didn't want to settle down, were kicking these nice guys in the balls, flaking on them, monkey branching to the next guy, having that shiny object syndrome. Oh, that guy, ooh, that guy now, ooh, that boy, right? And now they're in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, right? Still single. A lot of these girls, too, became single moms. Didn't even mention that, right? Not only are you single over 30 and now a single mom, you could just wave goodbye and forget about those hopes of ever landing a high-value guy again. Because high-value guys are not going to go for a female who's over 30 and no longer has sexual marketplace value, and has a rapidly declining sexual marketplace value, right? Instead, that high-value guy is just going to go for younger women in their 20s. That's all he's going to do, as most guys do. And, you know, a lot of these chicks who come on and hate, they could hate and shame all they want. That's what they'll do. They'll say, oh, what kind of man are you? What kind of man are you just going for younger women? Oh, you can't handle a strong woman over 30. You can't handle me in your ear every day just yapping and nagging and ball busting you and breaking your nuts every single day, can you? Because you're not a real man. You just rather go for these young, hot, beautiful women. Because they're stupid and immature. That's what you rather have. And it's like, you could say that all you want. But at the end of the day, you're now over 30. You rode the CC throughout your 20s, right? Kicked all these nice guys in the balls. And now this is a side effect of doing that, is you will no longer be able to get the same level of guy that you were once able to back in your early 20s. Any female who wants to be honest with herself, which very few will admit that. Like, no, I cannot land the Chad anymore. I cannot get the alpha Chad with the high-paying 6-figure job anymore, or the 7-figure business. I can't get that guy anymore. Even though he's my age, I can't get him anymore because the 21-year-olds have got him. You know, the girls who are half my age can now get that guy. I can't get him anymore. And this is why I always tell you girls, especially when you're in your 20s, to cash it in, right? Your whole mission in your 20s, especially if you want to have a family, you should be looking for that high value guy, right? And you know what? The smart thing to do would be to look for a guy who's a little bit older than you, right? He doesn't have to be like way older than you, but he should be at least a few years older than you. That way you guys, at least maturity wise, will be somewhat on the same level. Because if you go for a guy who's exactly your age, or, you know, even younger than you, you're going to be more mature than him. You're probably going to be leading the relationship a lot. He's going to be coming to you almost like a second mommy, constantly asking you for advice, help, lean on your shoulder, cry, and stuff like that. Whereas when you date an older guy is more mentally stable, more emotionally stable. An older guy generally is not going to be like checking your phone and starting, you know, like tons of drama and fights and, you know, being possessive and jealous anytime you're out with your girlfriends. Older guy is just going to be more laid back. It's like, okay, well, have a good time, because we have better things to do, right? You know, when I was in my 20s, I did a lot of that stuff. I was constantly like haranguing my girlfriends anytime they hung out with like a guy, like another dude, even if it was like a guy from class and they had to do an assignment. I'm like, what? I would constantly be haranguing her about it. Whereas like these days, I just have better things to do. I'm like, okay, well, if this chick ends up like cheating, I'm just gonna dump her, whatever. I can't watch you 24/7. I'm not a security guard. I have my own life to lead. If I feel like you're not being faithful, then I'm just gonna cut you off and I'm just gonna move on. No harm, no foul, right? Whereas younger guys will be more emotional about it, might come and key your car or don't do some dumb shit like that. It's best to date a guy who's a few years older than you if you're looking to settle down and you're in your 20s. Like if you're in your mid-20s, you should probably date a guy who's in his 30s, right? That would probably be better for you. If you're in your early 20s, date a guy who's in his late 20s or 30s, depending on how far you want to go. Just understand, man, it's like once you hit 30, there's something about that number in a guy's mind that makes him go, why couldn't I met you just like a year earlier, right? Because for most guys, especially high value guys, they want to have you while you're at your physical prime, while your SMV is at its highest. They want to experience that, right? They want to experience that. And that's why, like when I tell stories about my ex from 2006, she was in her mid-20s at that time. She was at the peak of her SMV, and my thinking was like, hey, let's ride this out together. She looked gorgeous at the time, young, beautiful. My old blue pill self, I was like, if we stayed together, I would have rode it out with her, ride or die. I would have rode it out with her, right? Probably would end up marrying the girl, and and the whole nine. But when she dumped me and she monkey branched to some other dude and then tried to come back 2 months later, I was like, nope, done, right? I don't allow that kind of behavior. I don't allow people to kick me in the balls like that. I was done. She really messed it up for herself. I mean, because she did try to come back later. And especially like these days, oh, absolutely not, right? Because, that was years ago. And her SMV is long gone. That ship has sailed, right? Can she ever get another guy like me? No. Could she ever get another high value guy? No. Right? Especially now because she has like 2 kids from 2 different fathers. She's a single mom. Who's going to want that? Who is going to want to jump in there? Not a high value guy, because the reason why most guys become high value is because they're smart, because they're clever, because they're successful. They don't make dumb decisions like, getting involved with single mothers. They don't make dumb decisions like, getting involved with damaged goods who rode the carousel and slept with all these different men in their 20s and are retaining the sperm of those men. And yes, there is science to back that up. I've had some people try to debunk it, and it's like, nope, dude, the science backs it up. I'm not going to believe your Vice article or your Vox article or your CNN article that's coming from the woke media that is out there protecting the feminine. No, I'm going to listen to what the scientists say. And they say that these chicks, every time a guy, he doesn't even have to blast her in her vagina, but even in her mouth, right? Even if it hits her eye, it could still enter. And each guy she slept with, his semen retains inside of her. Really, really gross. So the fact that these females have rode the carousel and are now trying to get off to find a high value guy is just hilarious. Talk about being delusional. Talk about not recognizing your own social value, and I blame social media a lot for that, and these dating apps really pumping up these girls' egos and Oprah too, right? Oh, you can have it all, girl. You can have it all and you can do it all. And then the reality hits them, right? The red pill reality hits them, and they're like, hey, where are all those high value guys that used to want to just, give me the world? Those guys that would pass out at my feet. What happened to those guys? Oh, they're all gone. Why? Because your value's gone, right? There's no transactional value there anymore for the guy. Because in anything in life, including relationships, it's a transaction, right? You're exchanging value. And if your value is not worth exchanging, the guy's just not going to do it, right? A high value guy who's successful, who's killing it out there, why on earth, when he could have a 21-year-old model looking girl, would he settle for somebody in their 30s, 40s, or 50s, especially a single mom, damaged goods, kids from multiple fathers? Why would any guy want to do that? He would be insane. He'd have to be high. You'd have to drug that guy. So just understand, especially if you're a female watching this and you want to focus on your career in your 20s and you want to do what the Matrix has taught you to do, is just nope, gonna focus on me, and then in my 30s these high value guys are all gonna be there waiting to get me because I got this great corporate job. No, guys don't care about that stuff. All we care about is your physical attractiveness, and then be cool beyond that. Be feminine. But if you don't have your physical attractiveness anymore, then there's really no transactional value there for us, at least for a high value guy, right? I mean, it doesn't mean you won't be able to get low value guys. You will, right? When you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, doesn't mean that you're, suddenly no men will ever pay attention to. Of course there will be. It will be those same low value guys that you've had your entire life, right? It will be those same low value guys that were always there. And now you're going to have to settle for them. And those guys are typically those beta provisioners. They're willing to just fund you and pay for you. Those are the guys that you'll have, that will always be there. But as far as high value guys who are successful, basically the cream of the crop, the most in-demand guys that you could have gotten back in your 20s, you will no longer have access to those guys. Because again, there's like something about that number, like, oh, I'm 30. Ah, really? Especially when you're like 40. Oh man, 40? Really? And the guy might still be attracted to you. He might be like, oh, okay, she's still good looking, might have sex with you, but beyond that, he's not going to stick around, especially if he's high value, because he's getting girls who are half your age. He's getting girls in their late teens, early 20s. He's able to get those chicks. Why on earth would he just throw all that aside to be with somebody who is, like 2 decades older, that has been with another couple of dozen men more? Why would he want that? Why would anybody want that? It's the difference between somebody, handing you the keys to a, like a brand new Mercedes, like you got that new car smell, brand new tires, all the latest technology. Shit, this car's got Bluetooth, it's got Wi-Fi, it's got USB, it's got an LCD screen, it's got navigation, it's got self-driving, all this. Why would you trade that for, a model that's 20, 30 years older that has a cassette player, balding tires, right? Got some clear coat damage on the paint. You got some rust coming in. Still a Mercedes, but yeah, it's it's still a classic here, but still it's like, ooh, it's pretty beat up, right? So why would you want that? Right? Why would you want that? So my advice would be, especially if you're female watching this, cash it in your 20s. Cash it in. Right? I mean, and if you don't want to cash it in, you just want to focus on your job, your corporate career, you can do that, but understand you are going to lose access to those high value guys the moment you turn 30. And many in the red pill community would argue it would happen even before you turn 30. Like when you hit 25, that's when you really start to decline in SMV as a female. Whereas for men, it just continues to go up because we're not judged primarily on our looks. We're judged primarily on our financial resources. So if you're in your 20s and you want to have a family someday, you should be actively seeking out that high value guy. That's what you should be doing in your 20s. You should not be riding the carousel. And again, if you choose to do that, if you choose to date around and sleep with, dozens of men, don't expect some high value guy to be waiting there in your 30s, waiting to save you. That's what the mainstream narrative has brainwashed you to believe, okay? Because that is not going to happen, and it's selfish to think so, and it's delusional to think that guy will be there. So, I'm going to wrap up here. Until next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Do it for the DeLorean. Smash that like button below for the DeLorean. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Helps me out a ton when you subscribe, so please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Okay? Helps me out with the YouTube algorithm because they're definitely not helping me anymore. I need your help. So subscribe to my channel. Share my videos with your buddies. And for you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content even further, stainless steel pill content, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 months to mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, the same exact type of women that myself and all of my coaching students all over the world are out there approaching and closing every single day, every single week, no matter what type of racial divisions going on in the world, no matter what type of virus is going on in the world, we are out there making things happen 24/7, just living our lives and having fun and taking no prisoners. And I want you to be a part of that. Okay? Life is short. I want you to be part of it. I want you to learn how to do it. And right now, the first month is only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons in 7 months to mastery, which is a very, very, very valuable program. I highly recommend you join. It's only $1 for the entire first month of content. So take advantage of it. And it only takes 2 seconds to sign up. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. Just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.